Hello, and welcome. This is Julie with the Jewel Design, and we are here today with some scrappy masterboards. We have two different projects going on, right? We have our, well, I've had many, but what we're working on is either been the altered book, which we're punching out, and I haven't got to these pages still, guys. If you've been following me, the second section of our last interactive section has been very slow going. Haven't got my coffee dyed pages, and oh, I am so behind schedule, guys. But I did go through here, though, and what I did helpful was what I was happy with is knowing where my coffee dyed is, my next interactive, some more coffee dyed, and what's coming out. So this comes out, and then interactive pages, which I didn't mark. Oh, okay, hold on here. Getting to the end here where I was like, okay, 6 interactive pages, which I lost my thing. That was rude. Oh, I just didn't put anything on these. Okay. I was like, hey, so I have 6 interactive pages that I will work with, right? When other things were popping out. A small set of coffee dyed, right? Just a few more pages that we will be messing with. And then a few, we have 4 decor pages, a couple coffee dyed, and some inks in the back. So I'm actually getting to the last of it. I am so stoked. We're going to glue the cover to this page. So I was able to space out and organize the last few sections. So not too much more to go, which is great. I have one interactive, one small interactive, some more coffee dyed for you guys to write on. This is definitely going to be not just a lookbook of an, in an altered book. It has things to work on, right? We have pages to write on. We have things to tuck into. So the problem is we need things to tuck into all these pockets. So I've been gathering scraps, and I figured we would actually take some of the book pages that we have. I'm putting them on 2 pieces of cardstock that were misprints for, I forgot I had cardstock in my printer and went to go print out invoices. And that's a little thick. It's thick for my book, and it's thick for you guys. When I fold up my thank yous, it's a little on the thick side. So I was like, oh, we can't have that. So I thought, well, we don't want to waste them. I've done it twice now. And it makes for a great base, right? And it's white on the back, and with both my kits, we've been doing a lot of stenciling work, so I have no problem stenciling the back. Whenever it's done cut out, we'll stencil according to what we need, or I'll stencil the whole back of it. And then, it makes it, whenever I cut it up, we have totally something to work with. So this is what we're up to today. We'll work on both really quickly. There's a little bit of gap here, so I definitely know I have to put something there, right? Whether, we start going with more printed work, whatever. But I have some scraps, some really pretty basic scraps that we'll use as is, rip up. Oh, see, there's a piece of paper in there. So maybe we can just, oops, we can actually just right off the bat, we're able to just plop something in place there, right? And I'm okay with the white spaces and the weirds, and we're just going to get it on here. So that is what we're up to today. I will hold on to that weird book page for other things. But I was going through my things, and I was like, okay, oh, the cat did get into stuff. Oh my gosh. My little, or not, she's not even mine. She's technically my daughter's. The little one, the little gray one, is getting into all kinds of trouble lately. She is just spazzing out with the potential of spring, I guess. I don't know. And she's really, really having a conniption fit these days. But anyway, put papers aside for, notepads and books and bookmarks and things that we want to also make for stuff. But then I have these things. So let's get going. Oh, hope you're all doing really, really well. And it is Thursday, and I believe, and I'm not sure exactly what time today. Because I know last time winter solstice was like 10 something at night. It was sort of weird. But spring has sprung for the most part. Ew, what is that? Ugh, I've got to get it white. Spring has totally sprung, haha. And it is the first day of spring, ladies and gentlemen. So depending on when you watch me, it will determine it. But yes, I'm happy. And 20th of March, kind of first day of spring according to the Google whatever calendar. I don't know. I know sometimes technically the actual equinox is some weird hour in the day, and it's not like you just wake up and it's spring. I don't know. We're okay today. We're overcast and 63. And sorry guys, I'm just cleaning up a spot that was all weird. I don't know what I got on there. And not great, but by this time next week, we can actually see like 78 degrees, and then it's supposed to rain, chances of sprinkles, and like maybe 60 degrees on my birthday party. I'm so bummed. My birthday, I don't know, but the day before when we do our my party, they're saying 58 to 62 degrees with 0 to 20% chance of sprinkles and rain. And I'm like, no. I have this beautiful spring lavender themed party, and I was really hoping we get to go outside and like put my stuff out from my patio. And so I'm going to faux up my deck because it is a covered deck. Make it look slightly gardeny, have an area to sit in case, you know, it gets too warm in the house with the fire or whatever, because I'm going to have the fire running. Here's end of March, and I'm going to have my fireplace running because 58 to 62 degrees is too cold in the house. And we're not baking anything. Everything is solids and light. Everything's light and airy. Oh my gosh. I finished ordering cups. I ordered cups today. I've got ingredients for drinks coming. We're going to make it's very lavender. I love purple. So everything is very lavender. And so we're doing like lavender lemonade, and we're doing, there is a lavender cucumber bitter, like soda drink, which, you know, lavender bitters sounds weird, right? And it's really just another type of like, syrup, but you know, you got to use lavenders, right? So, but when you actually, soak and cook, lavender buds that are edible, and, you put them in with the sugar stuff, and let's do this where we get the edges. Yeah, you put it in with the sugar, you know, cup of it, and then you add lemon juice to it, and then you add bitters to it, and all that jazz. So it's really fun. So we're going to try to make a test run of it this weekend. Now, the other one that I want is a lavender cucumber drink, which has the bitters in it, but not the buds. But it has a lavender cucumber soda water, and it has, I flipped that around, didn't I? I did. And it has cucumber lavender sparkling water, and it has oh, I flipped those around all the way around, didn't I? Okay, well, that's what happens when I'm chatting, right? Okay, well, maybe this will work in a different manner, and maybe it'll pan out. Okay, well, that's right. The thing about doing this is you're just putting it down, and you're covering stuff up. You're not really paying all that much attention, apparently. Apparently, I swapped my verticals with my horizontals. How rude. Like, that's not what I meant to do. And I do have my plastic board down. Not that it really matters, because then I end up just putting everything else on top of it. But so anyway, no, we have two different drinks, but my lavender cucumber water is being delayed. Thank you, Amazon. It was supposed to be here today, and now it still says today, but then it tells me that it might be like not here. And I'm like, well, make up your mind, please. Like, which way is it going? Because we really wanted to do a quick test run and take photos of it, but I won't have my drink containers here till Saturday. So I don't know. We're trying to do this. We have a week to go. Food's been ordered. I think most of the food's been ordered, or at least will be by, beginning of the week, and getting it all done. Just knocking it out when we can, right? Okay, so this is going to go up here. So maybe this will work out. Maybe in the end I didn't need... I have something, but... So I did white out the addresses. Sorry, and if I'm off camera for a second. No, I'm actually in. I figured this way if we went vertical, horizontal, horizontal, vertical, it would cover all the bases. We'd have words in different directions. Upside down, possibly. Nope, I have it. Oh, I do have upside down words. Good. Words upside down, right? So I don't plan on seeing a lot of the words, but I think some spots having it peek out will help with our... So I changed it, and look, we have this weird gap. This is not even... If I tear it and make it, maybe. Or I put it down here, and again, we have just a weird spot up there like I was trying to avoid. Right? Oh, well. Yes, let's do it that way. Okay. Oh, well. Moved it around. But, I've got to learn to let go, and just like, it goes the way it goes. You can't do anything about it. But anyway, so we're waiting for stuff to show up, and I'm hoping it all does. We want to do one test run of each drink. I got to make the lavender lemonade. And that's going to be more of a punch size, so that's great. Once we get the first round, I know to hopefully be able to just double it. We'll see how much, 5 cups, 6 cups of, I think it's 5 cups of liquid, actually pan out to be. How, when we're only putting them with ice and stuff into, 8 ounces or so at a time, how that's going to pan out for me. Which, telling you only think 5 glasses, so, definitely going to have to double up on that. We have 12 of us, we had a dozen of us, not everybody's going to want the same thing, but I figured the punch would be good to have on hand, and then, I think we're just going to start off with, I had the lighter color, I had a light piece, where was it? I think we'll just start off, like, you have the punch, and then those who want the bitter, cucumber one, if all goes well. You know, we'll make those drinks as we go. So looking forward to that. My oldest is, she's like, I want to, you know, it's mocktails. There's no alcohol in anything. She was all excited because she's like, can I make the drinks? I'm like, yeah, if they want it, you can always ask. Would you like the punch, or would you like, you know, would you punch, or do you want something else, right? So I'm wondering if I'm going to get fun with this. Don't want to go straight on. We're going to start layering this puppy up. We need to start making, sometimes I like having things a certain way. I know, gasp. But we want to start covering things up and seeing how we do. I don't mind if there's glue everywhere, because I would love for it to actually cover it like it needs to. And we do have a slit somewhere here, so the more that may end up in some spots to hold it all together, the better. Because I didn't put any washi tape down before I did the paper. I debated on it, but it's fine. It's okay. Alright, so let's see my mess here. I sort of want, if I can, if there's something going on, we want to put it in both sides. I want to put it here, and I want to put it on the other side, you know. It's over here, so I want to put it over here. So that way, if we do have more than one section, maybe some pieces, you know, go together. I do see that I'm a little off in some places, right? I could cut them right now so I know exactly where I'm at. So maybe I don't overshoot the runway and end up with more than I need. But I'm getting excited. I'm just bummed about the weather now. I'm like, oh man. I was really hoping for a slightly better day. I mean, the chance of rain could probably dissipate, but it's a cold. That's what I'm bummed about. I'm like, here we're saying mid to high 70s on Tuesday, Wednesday. And then we're going to be down to, you know, barely 60 by Saturday. And I'm like, no, that is not what I want to hear. Because my 10 days is finally starting to, you know, we're Thursday, so we're popping out to the next whatever. And I'm like, but. So this one I might just finish off. This one was already sort of torn. So I think we're just going to finish that off. It's a little big, but we're going to need that. I don't need to cover every ounce of this, but I feel that... Now, I'm not inking any of this paper. I know, gasp. I'm not inking it. I mean, I could ink every edge to give it a real, you know, quilted, you know, feel. But I think the edges of each page, of course, will get beautifully inked. So we're going to leave the inking to the outside edges, to the back, things like that. We'll keep it that way. But this is a great way to use your scraps up. It sometimes is the best way to make your ephemera, because you need bases, you need things, especially when we have such large pockets. We need a lot of tags and journal cards that we can just put together. And then you do the same thing. You've got a smaller piece of press board or heavy cardstock. We have to make a writing board for the other one. Yes, for the other one, because of its size. We need to make a writing board for this one. So this one, again, here's my leftover pieces that match the inside, and sort of our main whatever. And so I need to get a piece of press board or whatever that's just the right size and cover it up with this stuff, right? So that is because of the unusual sizes and fun places of that one. But the same thing, right here. Now, if I had left over this, which I won't. If I had left over this one, I would totally be like, yeah, let's just make a writing board for this lovely altered book. But I believe, for the most part, because there's good sections of it, I don't think we're going to need a writing board for the altered book. I don't think so. We'll see. I mean, something comes up and I end up with more interesting scraps, I might. But I know I'm not running out of paper. I think we're doing okay there to a point. So now it's just starting to, I don't know. I don't want to cover every ounce of writing paper, but I don't want to make it too obvious what the words are either. I've got to keep an eye on this and hope that there's nothing too weird, huh? Now, enough of something, but not so much. I mean, I could make this into two different pieces, one horizontal and one not so horizontal. So it's funner. We're not perfectly, and I can cut it. We are going to get crafty, because I don't think I want perfect shapes. I want some fun shapes in here to wrap. I knock everything down. But anyway, yes, we are prepping for the party, and so this week, sorry, this is Thursday, so it's first day of spring. I'm stoked. I got all of my grandparents' flowers and their sites all cleaned up. checked my husband's yesterday with my youngest, and it's looking okay. He's actually getting neighbors. He got an immediate neighbor a couple months ago. And so I didn't realize how tight it would be. Especially when they have a much larger tombstone than my husband does. Holy moly. Everybody's gotten very horizontal again. Or very vertical again. And my husband's was pretty simple. Like, I was a decorative one. I was a little more elaborate one. But he's not. So I went for clean and simple and elegant and just, you know, us. And with a marble, of course, it took freaking 6 months to get here. That wasn't your standard marble because it matched the feels of our kitchen and our house. And, you know, that's where I spent the money, and was not so much height. It was quality. And it was, you know, it had to be whatever. It came from Italy or Europe or whatever. I was like, okay. So, okay, that's where I put my money into it. But, he's got a brand new, you know, he's got a new neighbor, but they're starting to fill in around him. And so new headstones and flowers and things are showing up everywhere. So I was like, okay, you know, I'm like, all right. So he's got some neighbors. He actually has one that's one over. There'll be someone between them. And because there's space, and I'm like, oh yeah, there'll be someone between them. But he was a gentleman. This gentleman passed about 51 years old. And I was like, oh gosh, not another one. Right? You're just like, oh, come on. I'm going to go horizontal because I know we've got a middle section here somewhere that needs to be taken in consideration. Let's get that back down. So yeah, one was 51. We have someone who 39. A lot of guys. A lot of them are passing away right now are male. Now, his immediate neighbor, I believe the husband had already passed and they hadn't done anything about it. They hadn't put his tombstone or anything, so I didn't even know he was there until his wife passed. And then the tombstone went up. I was like, oh, okay, for both of them. So, but we checked his out. His flowers look good and stuff. I do want to add some of my favorite purple flowers to the mix, which I do quite often. For the spring and summer, I sort of add a little purple, so it's both of us. And otherwise, he's pretty much orange because that was his favorite color. So right for now, you know, the flowers are orange and holding out and all year round because that's him, which they're going to look at me funny when people go by and go, But my grandmother's anniversary is tomorrow, and it's for, you know, 1st of spring today, so I wanted to make sure she was decked out and ready to go now. I'm thinking this way? Yes. I know I'm getting a little too, because these are going to very potentially be up against each other, so I'm not going to get, let's try not to make myself, I could put this up here somewhere and just cut off the white if I really wanted to, so I can put that anywhere if I wanted to. Let's see, do we have any weird spots? We got it here. I could put it this way, yeah. Well, I can't cut that off, huh? I don't know. I'm getting whatever. I'm probably off camera right now. But this one I'll put off the page, and then that way I know that we will cut off that white paper. Because I don't want it. But I want to put it out there. Scraps are scraps. Anyway, so that got done, so I'm stoked. And then today, we bought my daughter's prom tickets last night for her and her beau. You know, going to prom, you know, senior year. They thought about it last year, but they just couldn't get it together. They couldn't get it together. Oh, forget it. It's not that big of a deal. So they knew this year, big deal. So he's gonna come over and he's gonna cook dinner. So me and Sammy are gonna clean up. We're gonna decorate the house with the kitchen area all really pretty with flowers and candles, and just the two of them. We'll probably shrink the table down a little bit so it's not so big, but we'll deck out the table for them so they can have their own little restaurant thing. Hopefully we won't need a fire, but hey, if it's cool for some reason, because it's in a month, it's middle of April. Who knows? The possibilities are endless, and whether or not, yeah, she might have a very cold, you know, she could have a cold freaking prom. Oh, it's outdoors. It's like, oh man, help us all. But they're doing a Roaring 20s theme, and so we're hoping for what they're charging us that it is going to be well decorated. It's going to fit the theme for once. We know the music won't happen, but she's like, would it be cool at least a few slow songs or in the right era? I'm like, yeah, that'd be nice, but I don't know if your class that's putting it together, not her class, but the junior class putting it together, is that, I don't know, savvy. Or if the DJ would, you know, actually make an effort. But we'll cross our fingers. So hopefully it's decorated well. It is outside. It's in one of our amusement parks called Gilroy Gardens, and it's about a bunch of, it is, you know, rides and events out in a garden theme. We have really cool trees that are all shaped, and it's a really cool place. I mean, especially for the younger kids. but they have the area for events, and so that's what we've been out there for the past couple years for the prom. And I'm like, all right, I guess it used to be our vets hall, or I'm not sure why it's not anymore. I don't know if it's just too many of us now. I doubt it. I mean, at the price these days, jeez, it's up there. I mean, gosh, I remember what, of course, don't get me wrong, 25 years, but we did it here in town, and it was all like $45 for a pair, for a couple. It's technically 4 times that amount now for a couple. They have to pay individually. Ugh, I don't know. It's ridiculous. It's sad. It's just so sad. I'm like, it's just so sad how expensive it is. But they're both paying a good price for her dress and his rental. But they're gonna look gorgeous. She's got a longer dress, but of course it tops. You know, it's gonna have very much a feel if she was like a lounge singer. Not so much the flap dress, because flappers are probably not what the cup of tea we're looking for. But I've got a lot of weird things. I'm got a lot of weird things here. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't want things perfect, but I don't want things. I don't have to cover all of it, and I need to cover all of it, right? I feel like we've got triangles and dangles over here, and we've got patchwork over here, which I'm sort of liking the idea. So anyway, I feel that his suit, which he has good taste. It's so funny. He had 2 binders to go for, and he actually ended up picking up the more like Michael Kors, like the more prestige. He went for the more expensive. He liked what he picked out, and you know, he was there while she was trying the dress on to see like if this is the dress she wanted to wear. And he won't know the final fit or anything like that, but he got to sort of see it, and we got to match colors, and I don't know, it was a lot of fun taking him in to go get that done. And then so today the dress is in. We ordered it, so the dress is in, so we get to try it on and see if we need to make any adjustments. We probably need to fix the straps, and probably a little big. Come on. But it's actually the tail, the bottom of the dress that we're a little worried about. Oh, it reminds me, I got to get shoes too. Oh shoot, I got to not forget to grab the shoes before I go, because I'm literally picking up kids and picking the kids up and running around, and I'm like, eek, don't forget the shoes. We want to see with which pair of shoes is going to work best, how high of a shoe we need, and then we have to, you know, probably carefully bring up the hem of the dress a little bit. Now there's a trail to the back of it, sort of a tail. That one we may not be able to do anything with, but anything closer to the front we may want to bring up a little bit. So thinking about leaving this one up here, because it's going to cut in a couple different manners, and it might just work. Trying to, you know, what I'm trying to maybe avoid is too many seams. I feel like the seams we definitely need to cover. I guess I could go that way with it. That covers up that seam instead of going the other way. Leaves us an interesting spot here, which as a card right here, that might actually be really cool. But I just realized, yeah, we need to be covering seams. That's what I need to be doing. Seam covering so that it is not so loosey-goosey. We want to make sure everything's glued onto the other thing so that we don't have things coming apart when we do cut things. You don't want to be like, well, I have to cut here because I don't have a choice. Ooh. Seal it. You never knew one of these. Man, it's a little weird, huh? So anyway, so today is prom. Last night and today was prom. And then we have 2 more practices, and then Lizzie has her last competition for the season on Saturday and in a nearby town. And so that's cool, because the next weekend is championships, but we are doing it as to be evaluated, not so much as to like fully compete. Thank God, because our team has been a little all over the board. We've had kids move, we've had kids come and go, they've had other arrangements or other not priorities, but other responsibilities. So they've backed out. Oh, so it's been crazy. It's been a little bit challenging. Okay, I have a lot of light colors. I'm wondering if I need to throw something in the mix here and totally so yeah, we haven't been we're doing well, but it hasn't been the best year for really going at it as a junior high group, because parents don't always take it seriously, which is a bummer. And so these kids are, those who are taking it seriously are not, they're being let down because their teammates aren't sticking it out. But anyway, our final thing is this weekend, so I'm trying to get things ready for that. Right, getting that prepped and ready. And what else? Just stuff. So we have something up here, and we have something down here that I want room for. Yeah, okay, we definitely need to make sure we have our seams all the way over covered up. Do not, let's go all the way over. Forget it. Ugh. We want to make sure everything sort of stays in place. And I can go down a little lower, do it that way. Yeah, this right here is bugging me. I did not get enough glue on it. And so now I'm struggling to get it to stay down. There we go. Yeah, I'm noticing I did not. I love glue. Yeah, I love that. I love when we use paper or whatever, but glue stick. But sometimes you just have to get the glue gun in there, or the the glitter glue in there. But yes, it's been it's prom and competition, and then it's back to party, and that's all next week. The girls have their schedules, and I'm like, well, your competition's done, so then the little one, I can go, nope, you're coming straight home and helping me with house stuff. I may not have to do as much outside work as I thought because of the possible cold weather. I think I said, but I think I am gonna do my deck where I'm just undo the winterizing, but keep it enough under the covers so that if it does rain a little bit, nothing gets wet. But we have the potential of some outdoor space, which I think would be nice. I just really want enough to do a little something on the... So, but yeah, I have a lot to do. We have 2 doctor's appointments and party to prep for next week. 2 internship days. Just here we go. And then I went to go cancel my daughter's driving test because we're not quite ready. We've had a lot of head colds and things like that. I couldn't find the appointment though. Apparently I didn't hit the submit button. Because I went to go do it this time and I went, that's a lot different. I don't know if I remember doing that, I was like, oh, well maybe I didn't schedule it. Maybe some subconscious thing knew we wouldn't be ready. I don't know. It's partially my fault. It's, there's the anxiety of going, God, if she hits something or she gets in an accident or that's all on me, It's like, yeah, insurance will cover it, but, and she's, because she has a permit, she's covered that way, but I'm just like, oh God, I can't afford to fix the car. I can't afford to, have my insurance go up in price. And there's that worry. I just got to keep taking her out and just keep doing it. We have to keep working at it. Now this one is turning out to be a very interesting cluster collage of stuff, right? I got hair in there, don't I? Oh my goodness, there we go. So we definitely, when we're cutting this, it leaves us room though to then decorate. Like this is paper, so we can decorate now here, right? I take anything I have, right, and go, oh, well, this one, I can put something like that right on top of it. Or I can take this in words and like we can use the wording as another background and just layer on top, and that's how we decorate it. So not everything has to be perfect, but I feel we want to make sure we have enough covered. And this seems a little blah. So do we have paperwork? We still have some of this. Pretty neutral. It isn't anything exciting, but I can get 2 more squares out of it, or I don't know if I want to keep doing hard edges. Like this seems to be the angled page, right? So if we did it like that, and I could bounce off, come up. Maybe we can do it this way. Can you see still? Yes, okay. But we still have another one to do, so I don't want to sit here too long. Yes, and I just way overdid it. I overdo it in some areas, and then where I need it, I seem to have still missed the mark, which is really funny. I'm like, I still missed the mark when I didn't need to. And this is damp, huh? Well, maybe. I don't want to wear off any ink, but I'm like, oh, we have a lot of glue everywhere. There we go. Okay. There's that one. Now this one is an edge, but it's rippled, and I don't think it's the same feel as like a clean cut spot like we have. I'm just using what I had. Wah! I'm so sorry, guys. He went for a ride there. So sorry. Went to flip my ruler, and the guys took off. He took off, huh? I know, very odd. This will be great for my subbies who watch me. Newbies, okay, maybe you may not be as excited. It's just watching us do it. I could cut it up I could look to see what we have and start cutting it up. I don't know. It may be more I start doing some measurements for for some of the things that we definitely need, and then, you know. Now I have this piece of paper that we used for some of our cards. I think we already put in. It was the backing of some of our, what did I back it? I want to say I backed it with something. That's yellow. That's that. I wanted to say we had something I backed in yellow, or was supposed to. I swear I did already. Those are big. Maybe I never got to it. I'm like, I thought I had journal cards. I was supposed to, so I didn't. Oh, that's the right length. Almost. I said I could make that into a little something. One piece of it could go in here as my pocket with lace on it. Don't need a lot. Let's see. Little tear there. Let's just, I'm multitasking here. Nothing new, right? So let's try to line this up. We're gonna do that. We're gonna layer it with that. We're gonna put some lace in here, and we're gonna make a little, we're gonna start doing some layering, and I will definitely make a, yeah, we'll put this together, and this will be our, with some lace, I will do a, with this leftover stuff. Maybe. I still need something. Okay. Paper clip, paper clip, paper clip. Everything is paper clips. So I'm going to put this in the pocket, and this is going to be part of my next, we'll make sort of a little mini bookmarky thing with lace on it for one of our copy dye papers. One has a flip out. The other side has more of a tuck and a pocket. So you can have a little pocket here, and there's a tuck up underneath. So our goal is to add some lace to it because I want it to stick out. And we're going to make a little, tiny little bookmarky lace piece that you can use, you know, because I don't think I have any bookmarks yet, actually made yet in here. So that may be our sort of, you know, we'll layer up, we'll scrap it up, and we'll, with lace on it, it's sort of a side bookmark kind of deal. Okay, so that leaves me some leftover yellow, which then I can, oops, tuck you back in. Yeah, this is a very large ephemera piece. This was one from one of my first master boards that I did way back when, and then even scanned it, I think, and made a digital kit out of it at one point. But yeah, that's on some fun cardstock, and it goes in there as a large writing space. So for fun, I would say the other word, but we're not going to do that. What if we did some long pieces? I don't even know if I can do this. So let's see if we can do this. This usually requires a little water. Oh, I got it. Okay, awesome. So I can either do something like that, so it follows the lines that are already here, right, a little bit. Trim it off, make do, but it sort of helps cover a little bit of that up and gives us something new. I could put it up here. I think I like having some writing page, but I feel like I have too much writing down here, so I'm definitely tweaking it. So let's go here, and we're going to do that. That little piece can just plop wherever, but I want that to sort of work in there. Okay, a little bit of a pop of color. It really is. You know, I didn't do a lot of anything bright, but I feel like we still can utilize the coloring quite well, actually, right here. But yeah, then it's paying and organizing 8th grade and another band event. Chaperoning her band event. The band has an event that we get, and then the color guard gets to go serve as a reward to support the rest of their band members, and they get to go on the rides because it's across the way at an event from a boardwalk, our boardwalk. So that's really fun for them. So I actually get to go along this year. Last year she wasn't so keen on me coming, and I'm like, okay. But this year she says, well, you can chaperone. I'm like, oh, thanks. I wonder if I should break that up, and then we can use another spot somewhere else. Let me break it up a little here instead. Yeah, we'll do both. But yeah, so we got that going on, and then we gotta get, so it's just money. Oh gosh, the beginning of the year and the end of the year, money just comes pouring out. But that's why, you know, I work at the shop and do this, and we have the shop, so I can pay for these extra things because, you know, the bills themselves are already pre-budgeted within the survivor benefits, and so extra things like this are a little harder. I think we're going to do the same kit and caboodle. Maybe we'll do it over here. I don't know. I can do two things. I can rip this in 2 more spots, and I think I can get 2 more covers. Let's do this. We'll go... Give me a second. We're going to go this way. Upside down is fine. We just got to get that edge off. Easier said than done. Yeah. I want the straighter edge here. Break that up. One up there. Then I think we're done. I don't... no, I feel like... I do feel there's spots where we have a lot of text. And I don't want to have too much text, right? I want some, but I don't want too much. Now the other one is going to be strictly just scrapbook paper. There really is no this that we're covering up. We're just, and the scrapbook paper is a little thicker, so well, yes and no. Some of it's thicker than others. Then, you know, this just printer paper, right? This is just printer paper. Nice stuff. It's 32-pound printer paper. It's not junk, but it is just what it is. So, all right. So there we go. There's that. It's a little messy, which is perfect. It's fine. So I will probably do this in large. I have a large stencil that I actually used, in this case, for the back pages here. I just used the edge of it. So I may use this one really carefully, because it's large, across the whole thing as light as I can, just to give some dimension. So that when we cut it, it's, you know, and I ink around the outside edges, there's a little something on the paper. Still totally writable, but it, you know, a little bit more than we've been doing. Because, yeah, no, we just can't. Okay, so that's yellow left over for whatever. All right. So we'll ink it as a whole, and then I'll start looking at what I need to use, what, you know, across the book, what I need. And I'll start measuring out the sections and getting it cut up so that we have, you know, journal cards and potential tags that can start filling in the many, many pockets that we have in this lovely floral collage book. How are we at? 37. Not too bad. Not too bad. Okay. So, same ordeal. Now this time we have much larger pieces of scrap paper that I felt, right, huge pieces, not a problem. These are all things that we've used inside of the Force signature book, right? It doesn't take much. I could probably cover this in about 4 pieces, right? 1, 2, 3, and done. Yellow, this. But we have some green. And I have roses that I haven't used. We were supposed to use it inside, didn't use them. I've got polka dots if I really wanted to, like, shift it up and put this light on the inside and have something dark on the outside. So this one may just be tearing, and putting it down and see where it pans out. Because these are all colors that we've used in the cover. And I think that they're nice bright colors to match. So this time, yeah, I still don't know. I wonder if I cut it, if I do it in half and cut do both corners or out both ways. I'm just trying to figure out if there's a way to maybe get it in here, but not sort of like we do with the book pages, right? It's here, but it's not something crazy. It has something we can cover it up completely, or we can work it in a different way. Like, how do we want to go about doing this? Let's see if we can just sort of do our thing. I am going clean edge to clean edge and trying to keep the for the most part, the rip stuff on the inside. If I need to, if I can, if I want to. So I'm just deciding which ones are the best combinations. Maybe do something bigger in the middle so it has more to grab. Or not at all. I don't know. I could do all 4 corners maybe and not worry about the middle. right? It's really big. Something like that, maybe. Yeah, I did it. I have to use it somehow. I did just rip the poop out of it, so I'm like, I have to do something with it, but I know I just got to figure out what I want to do with it. Oh, wait, maybe I just got it. Ooh, that might work. Enough coverage, but not so much that it's... And yeah, we're going to see very little of this, but I wanted something to start off my base with, I guess. Okay. So, yes. So today's been going to be a busy day. All good, though. We got to do this, and we already did the cemetery, and then we got prom. And with that, I'm making her drive home, because it's pretty much a straight shot home. Just trying to get her on more and more streets around town, because I knew... No, yeah, it matched there. You know, they're gonna drive her around and make sure she can't just stay on one side of town. You know, I'm like, our DMV is across town from us, so it's like, gotta get you over there. I gotta get you to all corners of this town, because he's gonna have you drive, you know, yes, into the areas that she's used to, the main hubs, but he doesn't care. Yeah, they may not care. They're gonna be like, hey, you need to drive, know how to drive all of it. And where DMV is somewhat near, like, our way out of town for her to be driving to work. So that is sort of nice. But gotta get that going. So that's the next fun thing. And she's like, well, I'm going to start walking after work. And I got to do chores. And we got to do driving. And I'm like, oh, your schedule is going to get very busy very fast, honey. Which means my schedule gets even busier because, well... It has to coincide. It has to coincide. And I did up that a little bit when I went to go glue that last one. I shifted the pages a little bit. So I will have to trim top and bottom off a little bit. But and I'm hoping that is just... Oh, yeah. Okay, it's just a glue. I'm like, please tell me that's just glue and not the fact that I just made a big old gap. They don't really want a gap. Okay, make sure there's no real major gap there. Ah, come here. Glue boards are great, but I do use contact paper, which is great. So it's not like I'm, you know, putting on something I can't deal with or pull off and clean or try again. Let's see, maybe I try to keep the glue onto this thing. But busy, and trying to craft. And right now I'm just thinking, well, I need to make bases for the next set of ephemera. So maybe we'll do this, and then once I have things cut to the size I think I need, then we'll do an ephemera decorating day for both journals, since that's what I got going right now, right? We have 2 different journals going. Decent sizes. They're both pretty good. I mean, I'm doing most of the decorative. I mean, both have, you know, decorative pages, and I have plenty of writing pages. So, we are, you know, I've got to put something, though, on those pages where they're decorative, and they have pockets and things. We have to have things to put in those pockets. Because the sizes of what I'm making doesn't always guarantee that the ephemera I've made for the kids, you know, work with the size of the journal I made. So, you have to make it. You gotta make adjustments. Okay, so there's some basics. Some fun, some silly. To counteract that, we can put some yellow up in this corner. Now this one is definitely a very white kit. There's a lot of bright colors and pastels and summery and white base to this journal. The ring, not the ringed, what is this? My 4 signature multi, 4 signatures, and it's both large coffee dyed and then decorative pockets and pages. So you can write on all of it one way or another, but it's definitely more white based. I mean, I put a little bit of ink, but the ink's been colored. We've been doing colored ink. The milled lavender and the sage green and the spun sugar. Yeah, I always the pink. I always forget the pink. Yeah, spun sugar. I don't know, like cotton candy. It's just a prettier word, right? The word cotton candy, it's just prettier. I'm looking for those edges that are ripped to keep going with it, I guess. But busy, and spring is definitely sprung. I'm still still dealing with the weirdness of the new time frame. Gotta love daylight savings. I mean, I do when summer comes, but right now I'm looking up and it's 6:30 and dinner's not ready. It's like, uh-oh. I mean, I don't know. I have a hard time with it because it got to a point where I get in winter, right? When it starts getting dark, you make dinner. So I keep waiting for it to get dark, and that doesn't work when dark's not till 7:30. Like, nope, wait. Oh, I ripped that one. I could do another long version over here. Let me do... letting it tear wherever it needs to. Like we did before, we're just going to have some matchies or some areas where when you cut across, we're going to get a couple pieces of ephemera that are going to have some similar coloring. Whether they go side by side, whether they go separate, then just drags it across the book. I'm really proud that my daughter did not want to be at school today, apparently. But she's like, well, let me get through this class and that, and I'll let you know. And I'm like, okay, I really prefer you make it in. You try to stay. If she has to miss so many days right now because of doctor's appointments, I'm like, I really don't need you to keep missing class. I've been trying to figure out what's wrong with her. She's got some... We wonder if she has a sinus infection and why she keeps having bloody noses. I was like, it didn't occur to me, but then I was like, wait a minute. Nothing else seems to be making sense, so let's see if that's the case. So, got blood work for that, and then, what else? Oh, these weird, I don't know. It's like a hypertension or hypotension issue. That's the best the cardiologist could come up with, so now we're checking neuro to make sure there's nothing weird. If that's cleared, then I don't know, she's just growing and off. I don't know, like she's just having a completely weird spot that I just created here. I'm like, I totally don't care, just ripped it, want to do something. God, the dots make it a little, what's the word? I'm getting circusy, I don't know why. Circus clowny, I don't know. I'm like, definitely gonna want to cover it with flowers. Definitely gonna have to do some floral stuff for sure. Need more green. I need more orange. Need more everything. We need. Let's do, whoops. I'm trying not to make too much patterns near each other. Like, I don't want to put too many stripes, like the two together too close. We want to sort of, there we go, maybe lower the way around. I'm just sort of trying to, really, Gail's pretty good at this. Gail Gustinelli has always been pretty, just finds her scraps and lays them out, and she does, page after page of masterboard. She was using an old magazine for a while, or not an old, but like a magazine a thicker paged magazine that she was never going to use, and which I have those, but I don't know if they're thick enough. And so she just takes her scraps, and she was making like a magazine book where she would fill in the scraps, and then she'd leave, and then when she needed it, she'd pull out the pages, and she would cut up what she needed. So I thought, oh, that's sort of cool. But usually it's like, nope, I'm working off what I need right now, so not so much what I need later. Let's see if we can get a bigger potential over here. This one definitely, this is a thinner scrapbook paper, and so it definitely rips with more white. But that's okay. And this one I'm going to put a little bit of that extra white off the edges so we can trim it off. And then whatever happens to pop up is fine, but I'm going to let it go off the page just a little bit so I got to trim it up anyway in some spots. So we're going to do it that way. Oh, I have a pencil mark. How rude. I think it's where the pages, we were making ephemera pages or something, and I needed to have some perfect coverage. All right, there's that. We got some green that could go across. We have this whole area right here. Definitely need to cover something right here. Do I connect it? No, we have purple. I don't really have any perfect squares in here, so let's not start that more than we need to. I need this edge, but I don't know. Bad enough we have some straight edges, but almost did what I wanted it to do. I can't think of anything else right now. busy, busy, busy. So I didn't get till today to get back to this. And really, it's only going to get busier, but that's okay. There's that. Okay, let's get some of those new rose pieces that I haven't used yet. Something new to add to the thing. Without getting too circular. I'm going to cut this in half. No one says I have to keep exactly that. I can do that. And even... I think because I'm on a piece of paper that isn't perfectly flat. I noticed it, but you have to really have a flat surface. Wow, this is such thin paper. I can't even hold down hard enough to do what I want it to do. Well, that was rude. I was trying to see if I can get rid of some of that straight edge. I was really trying not to have too much straight edge. But if I'm not careful, I end up... I remember to rip backwards if you don't want the white paper look. So, otherwise you get the white paper. I guess I'm out of things to talk about. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so sorry. We're just scrapping along here. And we are getting this done. And, you know, and hoping that as we go along, we do see things starting to develop. Things start to show up. Things starting to, I don't know, just, I'll do that and then I'll cut across the top. They're just starting to form. Sometimes you see it and you're just like, oh my gosh, that space right there. Cut it square, cut it rectangular. And all of a sudden you have this, you know, you can see the potential and the growth, the beginnings of a really good piece of, you know, ephemera as a base. And sometimes we see it, sometimes we don't. Sometimes we're just like, nope, we're not going to know until we know what space we need. And then it's just going to, you know, reveal itself. Now this would be, if I could tear it off. Nope, let's not do it that way. Well, let's not do it that way. There we go. Yeah. Still didn't quite work. I'll have to cut it off, but I was hoping. I could just throw it up here, but we'll see what else goes up there. I have a dark green I haven't used yet. I think I'm going to need to use it because I feel we're not as colorful. And this is sort of doing a weird thing that's sort of taken over. I'm feeling like this one's definitely, I think it's going to be where we definitely need to do, you know, a lot of decorating and pieces and finding other stuff, which I have, you know, pieces from the kit that we may pull apart, cut up, and, you know, overlap and use with these guys, because I have a feeling it's not quite going the way I want it to. Who knows? Sometimes you work with what you have and then you go, well, maybe not. And I keep hitting the camera. I am sorry, guys. You're jiggling along, aren't you? So sorry. We're going to put that in that corner so we're not really wasting anything. Maybe it'll help if I can start layering a little bit. And the other ones, I don't know if the other ones are any better either, but yeah, everything's that I need. Everything will need a little decor. We can put this in this corner to sort of reverse and finesse over there. Oh, am I on camera still? Nope. I'm like, nope. Nothing you need to see. Perfect, but we'll do that and cut accordingly. 2 purple, 2 orange. So I got 2 of everything-ish, and there's not, like, enough. I feel like we need to do different things, different shapes, different something. It's like I need another piece or something. Something's off, and I don't know what. This is a lot of orange and green, so I feel like, okay, let's get another purple in there, maybe. Your ruler's flat the right way too. It does help. There we go. Yeah, okay, I'm liking that. That's helping. I do have a tendency working around the edges and not so much inside. I have to work on that. Make sure, you know, that I'm not just working the edge pieces. That we are, you know, and yes, I'm way over. I should be probably just doing the scrap papers I'm supposed to be gluing. But why would I do that? And this is because these are scrap papers. I can roll it down and it's not going to pull much ink up because it's the damp baby wipe. So, okay, that helped a little bit there. Now we've got over here. Though I do like the way that ripped. It does look like the white's ripping onto the green. The green's was behind it. It actually looks like the green is what's the base and this is what's we're laying over it. So, liking that. I don't know. I'm visually seeing that right now. Okay, so that's helping a little bit. I do like the green. I'm just wondering where do I want to keep going here? Off an edge, off a piece, more roses. I think I see something. I see some potential here. Let's see what we can do. And then tear it up that way. I think doing this here will be nice. Yes, we see the white, and oh well. If I want it to stick out or have a little bit less white, I could just ink a little. Not plan on that, but yeah. It has a vintage feel. It really does. I love that piece. I love some of the hold on. Sepia? No, is that the right word? I know the word. I should know the word. I haven't used it in forever, though. Or you sort of single out a tone. You just do a single, tone photo. And sepia, I guess. Sepia. And usually will have a brownish tone. Great way to take something new and use the right filter, and you get a vintage feel. I do it a lot for graphics when I do graphics. Okay, so that's sort of helping. We've got, okay, so we're getting some potential pieces that are starting to work their way out, which is great. I'm starting to see some movement here that makes some sense. I just think I definitely need more, wishy-washy, silly rolls. There we go. See, like we did down here, I think sometimes this is helpful. And there's a spot here that I think I want to do. So we're going to try to do that, which really comes down too far. Okay. There we go. So as we start, if we are starting to cut things up, there's potential of some spots. Nope. Something's bugging me about that. So I think we're going to do this instead. I want to just go across the top here. It's like, nope, I think I want to do more of a rounded feel. And yes, I'm definitely designing as I go instead of just laying it all down. I mean, I'm not specifically, I've done it before. When we were doing the front cover, I was thinking my way through it because I knew I wanted certain pages, certain pieces to definitely be, on the front, on the back. How is it overlapping? I'm thinking about the cover as I was designing it. So yes, that, when I was doing that kind of scrap work, I was thinking my way through it. This, I shouldn't be thinking as much through it. I just want to be able to see that I can start working it. I feel like we're going to get something to play with, something to work with that has potential. And we don't end up with, too much of this or too much of that. We got purple across here. We've got that in 2 or 3 places. Not enough dark green. I feel like we can... I want to put a shape here, but trying to do a circle. Let's see. Maybe. Nope. I don't think I'm going to get... I'm trying to do something, and I'm like, I don't think that's going to work. I mean, I could bounce it off that, but I think what I want to do is pull off a little bit of this white if I can, because it is a lot. There we go. So I can wrap it up, lean it up against this other one. Oh, sirens everywhere. That's never good. I mean, we have them all the time, though, I'm afraid. It's not just from a car accident to... Sometimes it's just people, they need help. Okay, so we're getting there. I do feel I'm feeling a little better about this one. I probably will be like, oh, it so needs to be cut a certain way, and it's going to need to have, definitely, we have a lot of flowers, and I think we're going to really cluster a lot of flowers on this one to help decorate the, the front for a journal card or a tag. And we still have some leftover scraps. Maybe once I've cut it, I'll be like, okay, that needs a little bit more this, or this needs a little bit that, depending what page it's going on. Maybe we'll do it that way where we're going to sort of fine tune it as we see the need of it. Like I'm going to add a little of this or add a little of that according to, because I have leftovers, where I end up putting it. Maybe we'll do it that way. I'm like, maybe we'll do it that way. So we're going to cut this bottom off as we knew we needed to do. This needs to be fine-tuned. Did I get it? There we go. Same for the top probably. Like I said, we had a little off because of the fact I did not get it in line. And not that you have to do this now. You could do this once you made your cuts, once you made your decisions on where things go. You could fine-tune this, so maybe it's a little more perfect, but because I just did that, I'm like, oh, very likely I'm not square anymore. But that's okay too, because then when we do cut it down, you find the one spot, you square it off, and you make it work. So that's not bad. It's, probably not one of my favorites, but I think we have room to layer little cards, tags, fussy cuts over it, and it's just going to be our base to really decorate it up, put our laces and our covers on it, or our fussy cuts on it. And I think we do have potential of a good base. What did I just knock over? Oh well. I just dropped one of my tools and some thread. Ugh. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna let you go. There it is, doing some scrappy masterboards so that we can make our ephemera, have our bases for some new ephemera, journal cards, tags, large journal cards. Nothing I would think I would fold into any other real shapes, because too many folds is going to have everything start popping up paper-wise. But we need large journal cards and tags for this one. We have a lot of large pockets that we still, that we need to start filling in, right? Large pocket, large pocket. These need something to fill in with. That more memorabilia, so I'm not going to worry about it. But this one needs a medium card, right? We have this was left over from another masterboard. It needs a little decorating. Okay. So, little pieces, medium pieces, large cards. Like, we could go through this masterboard in about 3 pages very easily. And we have to have something that needs to tuck up here, and so the page actually goes with it, but we may want to go very eclectic and have something completely different go up here. So, yeah, see, we have more pockets, so we're nowhere near done, but I feel let's go from the front back and start filling in, right, what we need to fill in. Then we'll know how many more masterboards I need to do. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for joining me, liking, living, commenting, sitting a spell, and just crafting while you're hearing my wonderful schedule and what me and the kids are up to as we're getting ready. And so, yes, I will do some measurements. I will see how far I can stretch these two, and we'll do an ephemera decorating day next, so we can get these really pretty and put in our books so that we can continue to fill our pockets. So love you all very much. We'll talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye. Happy spring.